We are back with yet another Hoss Chat. In episode 4, we made 4 episodes. This week's episode is sponsored to you and brought to you by absolutely nobody, because this show is not sponsored at all.
Not yet.
Not as of yet. Today we got again my brother, Jonny Lanteigne, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you for that. The audience is clapping. I love to hear it.
They are for a part 2 of your Hoss Chat appearance because it was so well renowned.
I can't believe they wanted me back.
They want you back. And I think where we left a pin in, we were talking about our trip in Nashville.
We were discussing Nashville a little bit, and the water and the sweating at the kneecaps.
And you were sweating at the knees.
Yes.
Please take the reins there, brother.
Well, as the short recap, I was wearing jeans. It was hotter than I've ever experienced for a prolonged period of time. And after walking 2 kilometers, I was sweating at the kneecaps and was very happy to see that there was ice cold water at the corner of every bar rail in Nashville. Every bar you went into.
There was.
Yeah.
There was.
That was nice.
Now, we're talking about Nashville. We were talking about like the downtown core and stuff. We don't typically go out in Nashville. We've been to Nashville one time.
Yeah.
We're from Waterloo here, so we go uptown Waterloo is our town. That's what they call our downtown core. And we've encountered some creatures down there before. We've almost been in fights. We've encountered so many things down there. Think about that. And so that's like a short period of time.
Yes.
We probably started going down there when we were like 16, maybe.
Just for walks, and then
when we were 19. We could start going in the bars. And just the stuff you would see. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably worse now.
Well, I've been saying for a while, it used to be downtown Kitchener had all the action in terms of, disgruntled people. Just interesting people to see.
I think that's happened.
I think they're really starting to trickle into uptown Waterloo now. Quite a bit. You just see more and more of, you might get yelled at by some random guy from across the street just yelling at the clouds in the nighttime when there aren't any clouds out. Like, that's just what's going on.
I can still remember a time, I think I was with our friend Logan. Shout out to Logan.
Oh, I know him.
Yep, we know him. And we were uptown Waterloo, and there was some people just sitting in the parking lot, and they were drinking tequila out of like a brown paper bag. It looked like a New York cartoon. Like they were drinking out the bottle. It was tremendous. And they said, "Do you guys want any tequila?" And I said, "No, I don't know you. And you're drinking out of a brown paper bag." And the person tried to fight me because I wouldn't take any of their tequila. And yeah.
Do you regret not taking the tequila now, after you got yelled at? Do you wish you would have taken the tequila? I wouldn't have taken tequila either.
You would have taken it?
I would
not.
not.
You would not have taken it?
No, you don't know what's in there. You're ended up in an ambulance.
That was my mentality, so that's why I didn't take it.
Well, that was that would have been at the corner of the Chainsaw Corner, right? Across from the Chainsaw Corner, which was Chainsaw.
Old historic Chainsaw. Chainsaw was a bar here in Waterloo that I think existed probably until 2019?
Yeah.
Right when the pandemic came in.
Yeah. Karaoke bar.
The
only one in the uptown Waterloo Strip.
Which is different
at
now.
the time.
At the time.
Because now they have another. That's a quite the untapped market, I think, for uptown. That it's just recently getting figured out because Chainsaw had it. I don't know what their problems were, why they needed to close. Obviously, there's a lot behind the scenes. But Harmony Lunch, okay, keep up with me here. Harmony Lunch, which is in uptown Waterloo, great little spot, is dead.
Yes.
It turned into, what was the name before the current name?
Harmony Lunch. No, it was still Harmony, and then it was bought out again, so it was still Harmony Lunch.
Yeah, but then who was it after? Was it Revive right after? I thought there was a name in between. I think it went, maybe just went to Revive.
I think it was just Revive.
It was a Revive game bar.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
so
it
was like a video game bar, right? Yeah. But then they tapped into the karaoke. Now they're exclusive to the karaoke, and every time you drive by there, even on the dead nights, even on the Tuesday or whatever when the students aren't flooding the streets, that place still has the most people in it, I think.
Every night, almost between that place and Dive Bar that used to be Becky's apartment.
Yeah.
There's something happening there.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, Dive Bar is a different, whole different beast. That's
it's a fun time.
It's an interesting crowd that goes in there.
Talk about the experience for the listeners.
Yes.
When you come out of the bar, you're downtown Waterloo, you've maybe had a beer or two.
Yes.
Maybe that happened, I don't know.
Maybe
you're going hog wild.
Perhaps.
And you get hungry. A hunger comes over you.
Oh, wow.
And you go hunting. And you find uptown Waterloo, there's not really a lot of food open.
No, there's not.
Especially late night. And your coveted Mr. Sub is not open. And you have to go to the only place that's open. Fratello's.
The Fratello slice.
Yeah. And what do you think? You know what? Explain to the people. When you come out of the bar, you hit the pizza joint. Boom. Tell them what it's like.
It's a sensation that you've never experienced before. In the daytime, you eat a slice of that pizza. I don't know if you're going to think it's that good. Not to knock Fratello's, but it's just whatever. It's a slice of pizza. But when it's the only thing that's open, and they're offering hot slices of pizza at 2 a.m, oh my goodness, that's one of the best things. But you brought it up. About Mr. Sub, they changed. They're open till 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, I think, and that is just the best thing ever. You can't beat it.
No, that's true. That's true. Your long-standing tradition of getting a meatball sub late night.
Yes, with Sam Weber.
Sam Weber, we love him. Friend of a
bassist
friend
Sam Weber. Yeah, fantastic. After the gigs, we do tend to go up there when the economic conditions are favorable.
Yes, because I was just talking about this a couple days ago. I went to Subway.
Yeah. Oh.
And think about this. What year was $5 foot long? I can't tell you exactly, but probably like what, mid 2000s?
I would think so. Like enough for me to remember the commercials. So it must have been
like late. You think it was like 2010?
You want to say just over a decade ago?
Something like that. Within that time frame.
Okay.
I'm not looking it up. I'm just leaving the mystery I'm leaving the mystery to the world.
Comment beneath this podcast what year $5 footlong ended. Can you comment under a podcast? Probably not.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, perfect.
On YouTube.
All right.
Maybe on Spotify. I don't think you can on Spotify.
Well, we'll leave it up to them.
And anyway, that was we'll say a decade. And so $5. The sub I got the other day, I got like a steak and cheese. I switched it up. I was feeling fancy.
Rambunctious.
I was feeling rambunctious on a Sunday. And, I got a steak and cheese, and it was like $15.75.
Yeah.
When just the sandwich.
Yeah.
That's not a combo. That's just the foot long sandwich. Nothing like fancy on it. And get any like I think add-on prices. Just what was what was available.
The standard vegetable package.
Just a couple green peppers on your steak and cheese, a little cheddar. I put a little house sauce on there, get the party started, and $15.75. I just think that's a little.
Well,
that's three times.
Let me. You just struck a nerve for me there because
I figured I might.
You know what? Then on top of that, then you go to pay, and what happens when you go to tap your MasterCard?
Decline.
Again, depends on the economic conditions. But the screen that pops up, the tip option. Who is tipping at Subway?
Yeah!
Find me one person tipping at Subway.
Me!
What did...
I'm the fool!
You tipped at Subway.
I was at Subway yesterday, and I think that the lowest tip, prompt that came up, that was already up there, was $3-4 or something. So I don't know what percentage that was.
Well, I think they start you at the, don't they start you at the 15 and then go 18, 20
for
and
sure.
Somebody's tapping 25%.
So
on top of $15 sub.
$15.75 sub was $18.75.
Wow.
19.
See, and so regardless on your thoughts about the tipping culture or whatever, it's more about the principle of, Wendy's ain't doing it, McDonald's ain't doing it, as far as I know. And I much more enjoy a Wendy's cheeseburger. I feel the need to tip for a Wendy's cheeseburger any time over a Subway sandwich.
I think we should talk about Wendy's for a bit.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge Wendy's fan.
I am also a very big Wendy's fan, as you know.
I argue, and I'll say this live on Haas Chat. Look, I'm not advocating for fast food. You know what I mean? When I say, like, I'd eat a burger, like a cheeseburger, make one up at your house. You can
Yeah.
make a mean burger.
A
yourself.
real good cheeseburger.
And if you can't learn, because then you're probably not a good person.
Yep.
But if you go out and you're looking for a fast food burger, my go-to is Wendy's. Like, for a fast food burger,
Yeah.
it's just, there's something, like, the patty's flavorful, that goes with the bun, with the lettuce and the tomato. And there was one time back when I was going to the University of Guelph, well, I shouldn't say one time, it was a couple times, I guess. We would go, me and Benny, my roommate at the time, shout out Ben Holobishan.
Hey, Ben Halvision.
Ben Holobishan, if you're listening. And we would go out to Wendy's and we would get Dave's Triples.
Yeah,
Dave's
that's a
triple.
solid piece of meat right
I will
there.
explain the anatomy of a Dave's Triple. It is 3 patties with 2 pieces of bread between it.
Yeah.
Like the thick Wendy's bread.
Yeah.
And it's massive. And I would eat one of these and you would fall asleep for like 3 hours after. And you would hope you would feel okay when you wake up. Like you'd still have your vision. You could
And
still
that was
walk.
strictly due to the Dave's Triples. Nothing else combined with it.
No, gosh, no. The Dave's Triple, they just packed a punch. They were just they still exist. It's just I've broken the relationship with eating Dave's Triples.
That's fair.
Yes.
You just go for the same. I go for the bacon deluxe. That's my go-to.
You like
It's
the
got
bacon deluxe,
it's got
but like
the
a
bacon cheese on it.
Dave's single if you need like, quick and easy.
Quick and easy. But like I think Wendy's bacon separates from the pack for sure. They have.
What's your take on
It
Burger
is.
King?
I hate Burger King. I'm sorry if who I offended by saying that, but maybe it was just the one burger I got. Didn't feel the need to go back. Like, just strike me once and that was it. One strike, you're out for burger joints. But it was with you. I remember this. We got Burger King, and the bun to meat to lettuce ratio was the worst thing I've ever experienced. It was a horrible combination in my mouth that was going on right there. It was about 4 inches of bun, and then a little sliver of patty, and about half a garden's worth of lettuce, shredded lettuce, and it's like, what am I eating? And the bun was like the ingredient. Like I didn't like the taste of the bun. I didn't like the taste of the patty. Well, not that I could taste the patty; it was so thin. That's just my one experience. Tell me if I should go back to Burger King and try again. Don't feel the need. Wendy's is right there. Harvey's is a good option if you want to, spend more because they're getting pretty expensive now, unfortunately.
It's true. You know what? That reminds me of a story. You might not like this story, but I'm telling it because I'm cracking into it. We were at... You should see the face Johnny just made when I said that.
I'm nervous.
We were at Burger King one time, and I don't know where we were going. Probably like a friend of ours' party or something like that.
Yeah.
Like on the other side of the university campus. So where me and Johnny live, I think we talked about this in the last podcast. We live very close to each other. We grew up very close to each other. So we would kind of like cruise around town like a little duo. And we were walking over this party, and we were hungry, so we thought, let's stop in at Burger King.
This was the one time I had Burger King.
Was this?
By the
this
way,
is the same,
this is the same
one.
thing.
So I was gonna catch you lying, but no, it's true. And so we walked over there, and we thought, hey, we should transport some beers over to this party.
Yes.
For ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's put them in our pockets.
Yeah, and we were 19 at this time.
Yes, this was a legal move. I don't know if it's a fully legal move to walk around with beer in your pockets, but
Well, when you're wearing cargo shorts, that's just your freight.
it's true.
What's the difference between that and a backpack?
It's true. And I remember I was having a difficulty keeping the one beer in my one pocket, so I put it under my armpit. Because I couldn't keep it in my pocket. And we walked up to Burger King, we got our stuff, and we came back outside, and we were going to walk to the party. And I lifted my arms to eat my food, and I dropped the beer, and it was a glass long neck bottle, and it shattered in front of the Burger King everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
And a lot of people looked, so we ran. We ran pretty quickly.
Not too fast, because you know us.
yeah, we don't not getting anywhere quick.
But we maneuvered out of there pretty quick.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
And just one off, just because I got to know. I'm going to put you on the spot here. We don't got to dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one pizza joint.
This is going to cause a lot of controversy.
Big chain. Not,
chain?
yeah.
Oh, like a fast food.
Yeah.
You know what? Late night growing up Waterloo region, you can't go wrong with, I think, a twice the deal call-in. It's late night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue it's good pizza,
Yeah.
but it's like 2 a.m. You just got back, maybe you're out for a couple drinks. You got maybe you're out for a show, you come home and there's that pizza in the fridge.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think twice the deal is
that
king.
takes the cake for you.
Why? What are you going to say?
Well, Domino's, obviously. Has to be.
I'll say Domino's. You know what? They have a mean. Remember the Brooklyn Pep?
You did like the Brooklyn Pep.
Oh my gosh. The Brooklyn Pep is like, for anyone that doesn't know pepperoni, a Brooklyn Pep is like a pepperoni that's the size, probably like of the bottom of a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Like they're these big pepperonis, and it's a thin crust pizza, and it's tremendous.
It's a very good pizza.
Good.
It's a very good pizza.
Good.
But I think Domino's, it's just their sauce that puts them apart for me. And I've heard some people, I just heard a guy telling me, he has a friend that hates Domino's because he doesn't like the sauce. And I'm thinking, is this a difference in taste buds? You know how some people don't like cilantro, is it? They think it tastes like soap. Mm-hmm. Is that what's going on here? How do you not like the Domino's sauce? I don't get it.
I think it might be an IQ difference.
Oh, am I higher or lower? Wait, don't answer that.
Find out. No, I think back to, not even think back, because I mean it's something we still do, but when we go fishing early morning and stuff like that.
I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about fishing. Sorry to cut you off.
I know you like fishing. That's why I thought I would sway it over.
I don't think people are wanting a part 3 of me on Hoss Chat. So we got to get all the topics.
You'll have to put a book out or something and look about it. No, but like when we'd go fishing, that we still go, but this year's been kind of busy, so I don't think we went quite as much this year as we typically do.
Yeah.
But, the food you get. That's like the one part you always look forward to. The morning you hit the Tim's.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
You get the coffee, you get a little breakfast sandwich, you come back, maybe you get a burger.
Or even if it's Monopoly time at McDonald's, then you opt to get the McDonald's breakfast, which some people claim is better. Then you got the Monopoly stickers.
I've never really had their breakfast, though.
Are you serious?
I've had an Egg McMuffin. That's it. Or a McGriddle. McGriddles are good, but you eat that and you feel kind of like you probably shouldn't eat that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been disappointed with the Tim's breakfast as of recent. Just the English muffin parts that I've been getting. The McDonald's one is so much better, but the Tim's coffee is unmatched. I know people hate it, but it's the dirt water that I started drinking when I started drinking coffee. So, but anyways, fishing.
Yes, you just brought up fishing. Give people a back history maybe on your relationship with fishing.
It's I started going with my dad and my brother on this fishing trip, with guys, and that was basically my introduction to it up at Lovesick Lake in the Kawarthas, and that would always be that. I think it started off as a 3-day long thing, and now it turned into a week-long thing, which is great at the end of August, and it's good. Bass, walleye, and muskie fishing up there, but also perch and sunfish if you like it. But when me and you go, we like that's more of the river stuff. That's hitting bass.
We fish a lot of rivers, ponds. What we usually do is we'll look on a map somewhere, or we'll even just drive around to places we've seen, and we just try spots or word of mouth. Somebody's brother said there's a good bass spot over on this spot.
And then it never is.
It never is. It never has been. We've had luck here at like really good days, but it's because it's just something you stumble on.
Just
it's a spot you find.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you've always been good at is just zooming in on Google Maps and seeing a blue body, little stream and thinking, oh, let's go check out if that's public property, and if it is, let me tell you, he's going to bushwhack to get to that river.
I'm pretty good at finding cricks.
Well, how about that time your 20th, your 20 on your 20th? Your 20 incher on your 20th. Or no, was it 22 on your 22nd? What was it? The number matched the birthday.
Shoot, what was that?
Maybe it was to 21 on your 21st.
Let's say 21.
Let's split the difference.
That
there.
feels right.
Yeah.
So we'll say 21. Yeah, it was a 21-inch smallmouth bass.
It was a mutant.
Yeah, that was from the Maitland.
It was
In
huge.
Godrich.
Yeah.
Oops. I said where. I probably shouldn't say where.
Oh. Well,
That's okay. If I see you there, I'll fight you.
Go find
it's
it.
my spot. No, I caught a tremendous bass there on my 21st birthday a couple of years back. And we fished there sometimes, a few times before that, a few times after. And it's hit or miss there. Anywhere really.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we're skunked.
Yeah.
That's the huge thing with river fishing, especially in southern Ontario. Like, weather conditions change things in a matter of hours.
Mm-hmm. And that was my story that day, was getting skunked. And that was my perspective on it. We were bushwhacking. That was a bushwhack time. And let's just say I didn't come necessarily prepared for this one. I grabbed the bag that I thought was my waders. But it was actually snow pants. So, needless to say, I was not prepared to go bushwhacking that day. And, anyways, about, I don't know, 2 hours into, just going through deep brush and hopefully don't have ticks on me, we come to this very overgrown, because think about it, this is in the middle of summer, right? So everything's growing wild. Like, I'm talking grass that's up to your chest. And all of a sudden, Nick stops and drops his line into this, kind of nice, it looks just like a deep pocket that just kind of formed out of the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, yeah, that looks really good right there. And I think you had a couple of casts, and all of a sudden, you pull in this huge bass. That was my best. You know what? It's my second best smallmouth. Yeah.
I have. I think.
You have a bigger one.
I think my best smallmouth, and I'm not going to say where it came out of the river. I'll say that it was Grand River. It was in Waterloo. I'll say this. That's it. But it was a spot that you really would not expect there to be a fish like that. Which a fish. This was a 23-inch smallmouth. That's an old fish out of the ground. That's a real old fish. But I don't know what. Could you answer this question? Because I don't think I could. What would you say your best fishes you ever caught? That's a hard measure.
That's easy for me. Like the
muskie.
The muskie fishing is that's been that's the most fun I ever had. Is when you get the muskie on your legs start shaking, because this thing is it's like a big lake snake, and it was 2 years ago last year. It was last year. It was a 45.5-inch muskie. It was the biggest. It was the first time I broke 40 inches, which is a monument.
That's a big fish.
50 is, I guess, 50 plus is considered trophy if you want to go all technical. Maybe in Lake St. Clair or whatever. But for the lake, that was a big girl, and it hit when I least expected it after a day of being dry. Because that's the one thing about muskie fishing is if you got to commit to it, and it's just, they always come right when you're really just disgruntled about maybe I should just start fishing for something else, right? Your arms are getting tired, you're throwing these big lures in the water. But yeah, it was a fight. But I'll tell you, caught one this year, 38-inch muskie, smaller, but that was the biggest fight I've ever had. My arms were sore the next day. It was like a 5-minute fight, which maybe isn't long in reality, but it felt like a long time, and it does the whole dive, go away, and flip out of the water, and tries to go into the boat, snap your line. I got a little sidetracked there. I like talking about it, but those were the good ones there.
That's a mighty mean fight.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with Johnny earlier before we started the podcast. This past weekend, I went hunting for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to compare hunting to fishing. They're both outdoor activities, sports. But it's so different with fishing. There is lulls in it. A day of fishing, there is lulls.
Yeah.
There's times of the day where there's probably not going to be quite as much action as there is as opposed to others. So maybe you're not quite as switched on the whole time. But hunting, you have to be on the entire time.
Yeah.
At any given point, especially what we were doing some small game hunting. So you're on foot, just cruising through the woods. So you're not sitting in a blind, you're not sitting in a stand. You're continually moving, and you can come across whatever at any point in time.
Yeah.
So you're continually on. So we were out at 7 in the morning till probably 2 or 3 or something like that. Just aware of everything, every sound, every call, every track, everything that's overturned, because that's some kind of sign of something that had come through.
Yeah.
And we got 2 squirrels. That's what
Yeah.
we got. We got 2 squirrels, and we took them. These were gray squirrels, and we cooked them.
I'll take it from here. He comes to my house with a bag, a Ziploc bag with squirrel in it, and proceeds to fry it up at my house. So that was a first. Did not try the squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. He ate the squirrel.
I tried a lot of squirrel. It was delicious. It was very good.
I just can't get over the mental block. It just, I don't know. It's just something about it. And I also I haven't read up on the potential diseases, if there are any.
Oh, poppycock. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I'm thinking, like these little things are running around all over the roads and stuff, and I don't know. Maybe that doesn't even make sense.
No, it does. I mean, you have to be aware of when you're eating wild game. I think typically you don't eat like the head or the spine.
Oh,
Okay.
typically, yeah. Typically, you don't eat a squirrel either.
Typically depends on who you're asking there.
Well, I'm just basing it off of when you walk into the Sobeys or the Walmart. Show me the squirrel section.
They're not as talented as I.
That's a good point.
That was the one thing that was a big perspective switch. Was like it was being out in these woods, these old hardwood forests, looking for squirrels. We were hunting public land. You're so spoiled in town with the way that wildlife is kind of situated around town and kind of spread, that you see squirrels everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You could look out the window at any neighborhood and probably count 5 squirrels at any point of time.
And you could eat those. Is that what you...
No, I would not. No, I would not eat squirrels.
So you're telling me there's a difference between a city squirrel and a country squirrel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Country
Definitely.
Squirrel has better music taste.
Yeah. Probably dance a little better, too. Yeah, for sure. Because these guys that are in these urban neighborhoods, they're eating our garbage.
Yeah.
Our garbage, birdseed. They might be a little bit fatter and larger because they're accessing more, but they could be eating rat poison. They could be eating...
So it'd be like eating a raccoon. Like, it would just be like...
Yeah, it would be like, why do you hate yourself?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? But, being out in the woods like that, the weirdest thing for me was, you see squirrels everywhere in town. Out in the woods like that, we saw 2 squirrels in 20 kilometers of this radius that we had walked. I do think this piece of public land was a little bit probably overhunted or had been overhunted of squirrels, but we only saw 2 squirrels in a 20-kilometer radius, which is that was just different because you just see squirrels everywhere. We thought maybe that was our ignorance going, oh, we're gonna walk in there and there's gonna be squirrels everywhere. It'll be a charcuterie of squirrels.
So you got to clean it then, right? So when you did that make you twitch at all? Because I'm just thinking, like, I haven't gone hunting yet with you. I got the paperwork for it now finally, but and I know I'd like to get a moose or a deer or a bear, one of those 3, because I've tried all 3 meats and I like them. I'd like to have them for meat, and I'm just thinking. But then when you take one down, you gotta clean it in the forest, right? Or at least get it to a point where you can take it back to wherever you're taking it. But you gotta harvest that thing soon. And when they're big animals like that, it's like our organs, except massive. Like you're gonna see some stuff. You're gonna see what a surgeon sees.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it too, say you take a deer. That deer is wrapped in a pelt that is designed to keep him warm throughout, like an Ontario winter.
Yeah.
And you shoot him in +10 weather, or even maybe a little bit warmer than that. he's wrapped up in this heat is just kept inside, you have to begin that process immediately.
Yeah.
Or that meat's going to be starting to spoil.
Yeah. So when you did it with the squirrel, was it just the adrenaline going? Because I don't know, I did dissections in biology class.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought I would have a problem, a little bit, like this is like a little ick.
Mm-hmm.
But then the adrenaline just got me, and it was like, let's do this thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how surgeons feel. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I've obviously I've processed chickens in my life, turkeys, now fish.
You say obviously. Obviously he has processed turkeys.
And now, as I'm starting to hunt a little bit, this is kind of opening the door to some other things. And it's I think it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
It's not, if you're going out in the woods to kill something, you're doing the wrong thing. You shouldn't be a hunter.
Yeah.
Because most hunters that I know that are ethical hunters, they're conservationists. They're animal lovers.
Yeah.
They enjoy wildlife. They enjoy the outdoors. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 98% of our license fees as an Ontario outdoorsman goes back into conservation of the animals and the species that we're utilizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of adrenaline to it for sure, because you're just taking something's life, and then you have to get to work quick butchering and dressing it out, and you have to get as much obviously off that as you can to use. So we butchered these squirrels, and then we rushed to your place and cooked them up. Yeah, and they were not bad. And I guess this will air this coming week. So the week after, I'll talk about this. But we're going deer hunting.
Yeah,
so that's the big one I'm excited for. Get us a big old buck.
Gotta watch the YouTube dressing videos for that.
Oh yeah, a couple, one or two.
Yeah,
one or two. What would you go hunting for if you could fulfill your hunting dreams?
a moose.
A moose?
Yeah.
Really? That would be your...
I had those moose pepperettes that one time. And that just... I was like... I liked them. I was like, this... I could do this. And I'm just thinking from a meat perspective. Like, that's a big animal. That is like the champion. That's the muskie of the forest. For what you're going to hunt.
I would love to get a big elk.
Yeah.
And, Ontario has...
I think elk taste better, people say, don't they?
I don't know. I've eaten elk in like a burger form. And it's like it's a people will get mad at me saying this, but it's like a variation of beef. It kind of is.
I'm very mad at you for saying that.
So mad. And I don't know. Moose has a different fat concept than I think a lot of people are used to, and sometimes it can be a little bit gamier.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've enjoyed it all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm not too picky. I've found just my own taste for like the various game meats, but yeah, I think the moose would be the champ. Like that would be the big one. But that's years, right? You got to work up to that. First, you got to start with the small things, right? And then work your way up. But
well, Johnny, we've kind of come to the end here of our Haas chat.
Wow.
Your part here. Is there anything you want to say before we kind of wrap things up here?
Are you going to extend my Haas chat contract for 6 more parts?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what we can promote coming up. Please.
Turning Corners is playing at Aburb Uptown on November 11th, I believe. Remembrance Day. Because that's stuck in my brain.
If you remember.
And then I think the 3rd week in December we're at Edelweiss in Kitchener. Kitchener's best tavern, according to Turning Corners.
Nice.
So
and what's the website for
out.
everybody to check you guys out?
turningcornersband.ca. We're .ca because we're Canadian.
Nice.
There you go. And you can see all of our dates on there, all of our show.
Nice.
So come check us out.
For myself, for dates coming up, the week that this comes out, November 4th, I'll be playing at the Royal Canadian Legion. Johnny will be drumming for me at that.
I will be there.
So come on out for a good show. That'll be from 5 to 9. And then
in Lucknow.
Shortly after that's in Lucknow. The week after that, I will be in Kingston with Gabe Potter, I believe, at Riverhead Brewing.
Oh, I thought you were going to the penitentiary.
Oh, no, not yet. And then we have a couple other fun things coming up, so check out nickbordman.com. Johnny, thanks for being on here again.
You bet.
And folks, we'll see you again next week for another Haas Chat.
felt what you said when you said our love was dead. So I went to where I called home,